Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Jordan and Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know.
Jordan
and Keith.
From pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Now doing their intro without any chairs, it's the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast with Jordan,
Mariano,
and Keith.
All right, now we're talking. That's an intro.
There we go.
Put a little fire on it. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh
now,
yeah.
Like this intro,
Yes.
Very much fire.
Happy
We're
Friday.
going to also do a new. We're taking two of this new album review. Now, the two albums we're doing are Wildflower
By the
Avalanches. First,
Yes.
I said Wildlife.
It's okay.
Brain mix up. Okay, and Keith, what's that other one? I always forget.
Big Snoop Dogg with Coolaid.
Kool-Aid, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there you go.
I listened to that. Yeah. So,
SNOOPDOGG. So there you go.
would you guys like to start off with my personal favorite album of all time, Wildflower? Or
Well, apparently, I guess we are now. Huh?
it was an okay album. So,
No, I like
Sell
it.
it like that.
yeah. Okay. So, I guess we'll start off with the Avalanches first.
Right on.
First impressions. Loved the album. It felt so weird. It felt so just. Each track felt something that it felt like nostalgic almost. Like this felt familiar, but at the same time something I've never heard before. Loved the album.
Jordan, can you please tell us about the Avalanche? How do you describe their style?
Oh man,
of
well I
music?
guess they're alternative, but to me it felt like they kind of came from a different direction with each song. Even it felt almost like this kind of experimental.
I agree to that.
I gave it like
Frankenstein.
an electro hip hop theme feel. If that makes any sense.
It felt like it just came from a lot of different genres. And normally, whenever you say something like that, that means it was a mess. But not this album. No, this album was great. This album was something I can listen to in so many different scenarios that I'm not even going to say when to listen to it. Just listen to it anytime. Pick it up right now. Turn off this
Frankie
podcast. Just listen to
Sinatra.
Wildflower.
Okay. All right.
Don't
liked
listen to us. Listen to Wildflower.
Yeah. So
No, listen to us, then listen to Wildflower.
Thank you.
Is there a way to do both?
Yes, there is.
You have 2
And
ears.
you can do it. So yes, the Avalanches. Yeah, definitely like an indie electronica hip hop feel. I mean, that's the best way I can describe what that sound is. So,
Yeah.
you know what
No,
I mean?
I
I'm glad you
get
recommended
that.
the album. So yeah, love the cover art. I thought it was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It reminded me of an album of theirs I had a long time ago. I mean, that they have a certain feel and style to what they do. It's hard to describe, but
An album that they had a while back?
yeah.
Were you a long time Avalanche fan?
Well, I only had the one record. I didn't get anything else. So, but now after this album, I'm gonna have to dig into their discography.
Yeah, no, me too. I think that this was really like a big eye opener on just how potentially this is a band that is so accessible to not just any person but any kind of scenario.
Yeah, I had the album back in 2000. Since I Left You, that's the album I bought from them. I like the cover art, so I just bought the record, and it was cool. So, and that one didn't really have any hip hop on it, but it had that whole indie electro feel that they do. And Wildflower was cool. I dig it. Were you surprised? I was surprised to see people like Danny Brown and Biz Markie on this record.
Oh yeah, no, I was
and MF Doom.
I guess I
obviously
didn't
like
know what to expect because when I listened to it, I think I was surprised by a lot of different tracks. And there were, I think this album has this really amazing thing where if I didn't listen to it a couple times, I wouldn't be able to tell you what songs I liked in particular because I was able to just let this play and just relax and just enjoy everything for what it was.
Yeah,
I had to go back and say, okay, so that was the song I liked. That I mean. Beyond that, I think my favorite was Frankie Sinatra. I mean,
With Danny
obviously, the extended mix. That was such a good song. God, that was so much
I like
fun.
Because I'm Me a lot. I like that.
I liked Because I'm Me Too. These are both songs that I can return to on like a later date and listen to them. I intend to. Kind of like after last week's we did Avett Brothers. I'm still listening to Avett Brothers. I'm still listening to that album.
I need to buy that CD. That's a good album.
Ain't No Man was I was playing as I was getting ready today. So
right on.
I mean this.
Okay.
Of course, the Avalanches. This album. This is something that after this review, I'm still going to keep going back to it.
Lieutenant Mariano, you're so quiet over there. What's going on? Talk to us.
I don't like this album that much.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
A lot of the songs were like 20, 30 seconds long. That kind of annoyed me.
Okay.
Some of them to me were a little too. The way I described it last night was it was like a bunch of children kind of just got together and put some instruments together. Like,
oh my!
Why is there
I
a
thought
song?
You liked this.
The
album.
plot thickens.
No, I'm sorry. I confused this one with the other.
Thickens. I love it.
No.
Yeah, the Odyssey album I liked.
Well, that's next podcast.
Yeah, I know. No, but
hold your horses.
No, I'm talking in terms of he thought I liked it.
No, that's heartbreaking.
But there was a song.
Okay.
I mean, there's a song called was it The Noisy Eater? Really? And it just wasn't enough for me. Like I found myself. This one was about as hard to listen to for me as Equals was hard to watch.
Wow, that's terrible.
Okay. All right.
It was hard. It was like never have I listened to a music album and it feel like a chore.
Speak your truth, bro. Yeah. I felt that way about that Blink-182, but go ahead.
What about that song Subways?
I
like
care.
that song too, actually.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of good songs to it.
It was nice to see Bismarck Key and MF Doom pop up.
And
I could sense they have a love for underground and hip hop.
Yeah.
In order to get all those people, those aren't. I mean, they're not mainstream rappers at all. You know what I mean?
I think what was really cool about it is that it came in so many different directions that if one of those directions didn't work out, I wouldn't call the album like I don't think it would affect the album in like a way where I'd call it a failure because it was just kind of like one style amongst all these others that really just it did it for me, guys. It really did it for me.
I didn't care for it. It was
okay.
But the fact that it was all over the place didn't bother me.
You just didn't care for it. I can see it in your face. Yeah. You talk to us. You look kind of disgusted, bro. I love it.
It just
love it. The plot thickens.
It just didn't.
Okay.
It didn't really excel at anything. It was just. Right. It was a whole lot of whatever it was.
So you didn't care for the production?
Nope.
You didn't think it was interesting?
20-second songs? No. It was. Okay. It was. Yeah. I mean, come on. Like it was.
I don't think not a lot of them were 20 seconds. I mean, I think that there were songs that were kind of.
It was kind of like a long record, wasn't it?
It was. It was. Well, it was 21 songs in total.
Yeah.
But I counted like 3 or 4 that were less than a minute long.
Okay.
That's a long. And then there was like 2 more that were like a minute and a half long.
Well, that's kind of ironic though, because in today's industry, they want you to have that 3:30, that 3 minutes and 30-second song for radio.
But you see, but like I'll go as short as about 2:30. One of my favorite like gym songs right now is from A$AP Rocky, and it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's short, and I wish it was longer. I wish there was another verse.
So it's a good song when you want to.
Exactly,
longer.
But well, yeah, I wish it was longer because it was a good song, but it was also short, 2 minutes.
Okay,
but a minute and a half, it was like annoyingly short. It was like really, and I went through the songs one at a time. That way I can kind of keep mental note, decide which one I like and for the review. But I was like, I'm finding myself switching, I play a song, I'm listening for 10 seconds and then I'm switching it again. I'm like, man, I didn't like it.
What about Frankie Sinatra?
Frankie
Sinatra was one of the better songs. But that's a low bar for me.
Danny Brown's kind of like the Bob Dylan of hip hop right now with that voice, dude. It's very distinct.
I loved it. It's to me the Frankie Sinatra sounded like an old Indian man on like an old like low budget microphone.
I didn't like it at first, but now I can't get it out of my head now. I
was like, what am I listening to?
And I know, right?
My expression, my tone changes. What am I listening to?
Yeah,
an old Indian.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but now I like it. Like I can't get it out of my head. So
yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun album. As far as the tracks, each track is what it is. Like each track is its own track. I mean, for this album, you can't really reflect it all because some of them were too short. Because a lot of these songs were really quality to me, and beyond like the length of certain songs, I can understand just not liking the album in itself if you don't. Mm-hmm. But I mean. Don't judge the whole thing based off the duration because some of those, like Frankie Sinatra,
I don't.
That was an extended. That was really fun to listen to.
Oh no, I don't. If there was like a great album with some songs that I thought were short, I wouldn't let it bother me. It just the album as a whole just didn't do it for me. There was nothing there like it. I mean, the beats weren't like particularly like inspiring. The lyrics were never great. the features were cool, I guess, Biz Markie, but it's not enough, you know?
Yeah, I like Subways, Because I'm Me, Frankie Sinatra. So, I mean, I hear you. I mean, yeah, like I definitely think that the Avalanches are an acquired taste. I like Living Underwater. It's something wild. I like that song too. Yeah, it's it's cool. Like I said, I like the album. So.
And I kept giving it a chance. It's long. It's 21 songs.
Yeah.
I kept I would get annoyed every 4 songs, and so I'd stop for a second. Okay, watch it get better.
Literally the equals to you.
Yeah, really. I was like, watch it get better. Watch it pick up. And it just didn't. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it? Be honest. Speak your truth. Like I told Jordan, speak your truth.
Okay, well, these people at least know how to put a song together. I'll give it a 2.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Jordan?
I'm going to do an 8.5 or a 9 because,
okay,
like the Abbott Brothers, this is, or maybe even a 9 because there are some songs that I'm not going to return to. This is but this is still in its entirety an album that I can put on shuffle and play it while I'm being sedentary, while I'm doing something I'm having some more motion in my life. This is.
So what do you give it?
I'd give it a 9 or an 8.5.
Okay, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
You get the general direction of where my rating's going towards. Yeah,
I give it a 7.5.
I wish I could unlisten to this album.
Oh man, I love it.
It's so cynical.
Is it bad that I like it when we don't agree?
No.
Strong it
no,
is?
it's good because
I love it
because it gives you the sense of honesty. I'm not trying to slam on it. I have no reason to dislike the Avalanches as a group. The album is just not good to me.
So can you agree that they have a certain style you just didn't care for it as well?
Yeah.
Can you hear a certain style in their production?
Yeah.
Like when you hear Because I'm Me, that reminds me of that album that I bought from them. I mean, that sound, that retro hip 70s, 60s soul sound.
I don't know. I didn't get all that though. I think it was a little too messy for that. I think
really. I mean, I like that song a lot because it brought me back to the album of theirs that I bought before.
Because I think I like the 70s. I like the 70s kind of retro sound. And if it was a little more of that, I would have given it a higher rating. But it was just. I don't know. It just didn't inspire anything into me. So I was like, nothing good, nothing bad. It was just bland. It was It was just there.
Well, hey, we appreciate you, man. It's all good. So 2-1 on that, right?
2-1, and
I like the cover art
2-1.
Yes,
we have a commercial break to go to. So when we come back, we will be doing the other one.
Big Snoop Dogg, Coolaid, SNOOP, DOGG.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Hey, party people, welcome back. Now that we've just talked about an album, we'll talk about another one. So, introducing Snoop Dogg's Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yes.
Welcome back to Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
By the way.
Yeah,
that's nice. I appreciate that. And you are Jordan.
We got Keith right there who just said my name.
Captain Keith, baby.
And Mariano right here. So.
Hello.
Yes. So, wow. So I'll let you guys start off on the Snoop Dogg Kool-Aid.
Okay.
So, Mariano, so you wanna take it away?
Oh yeah.
So what do you think? So Snoop Dogg's new album, Kool-Aid.
Snoop Dogg from Long Beach, California. I love Snoop
The
Dogg.
LBC.
I happen to think that Snoop Dogg, Michael Jackson are the most iconic people probably on the planet. Where if I were to go up to anyone, rap fan or not, and just joke with them hey, what's up in the hizzle? They would all. What comes to your head, or the braids and the beard? What's more just recognizable than Snoop Dogg's style?
Oh sure,
No,
Snoop Dogg is an icon in hip hop. Definitely, he's been in the game for over about 20 years actually. Now, so he's considered old school now.
Snoop Dogg was the guy that my girlfriend shut me up because I almost cried when I saw him on in Straight Outta Compton. Because you see this long, lanky guy with the blue bandana inside of Suge Knight's studio with Long Beach on his hat, and I was like, "Whoa!" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "You don't know? We're breaking up." But his
he's your hero kind of. He's iconic.
He's come on. I mean, Doggy Style. Remember Doggy Style, 1993?
Yeah, his first album. Yeah, his first official album. Yeah.
I'm looking through his discography right now.
It's huge, actually.
Yeah. There's like 17, 18. And they're all so good. This one, let me get into this one because those West Coast rappers all have that kind of iconic sound. You know, think of like the lowridery type, you know, like that song, Do You Want to Roll? And in this album, he really changed it up and he tried a newer kind of rap style like The Game did. And at first, I didn't like it. And a lot of the songs didn't quite... They worked for me, but not quite in the way that Snoop Dogg used to work for me. But some of these songs, though, he went in really well. And I like the one with Wiz Khalifa. I like the one... I believe it was the second song on the album that he went in. That was my favorite, probably, of all of them. He had Too Short on the album. It was all right. It definitely wasn't my favorite Snoop Dogg work. But... It wasn't as bad as I was afraid it was going to be because the last time I heard a rap album from Snoop Dogg, I don't know when.
Really? So the album before this one was Bush, which was produced by Pharrell.
Yeah.
So, okay. So how do you feel about this record? I mean, it's a long album too.
Can I say I've got mixed feelings about it? Like,
so do I.
So do I.
I was disappointed. I think it's beyond just liking not liking Snoop. I actually listened to it with my girlfriend. And she didn't know that it was Snoop Dogg. I didn't tell her anything about it. She was just music and she said, "Oh, what's this? I don't like it." And I said, "Well, it's Snoop Dogg." And she said, "Okay, well, I still don't like it." So I mean, she likes Snoop Dogg. I think both of us are. You know, we respect him as an artist and as an icon. You're right. He's very iconic. But
think of him as a lyricist in the time where other lyricists were not really quite on that level, in my opinion. Think of The Next Episode, you know, or any song he did with Dr. Dre. Just like. Dr. Dre is considered a legend in hip-hop.
Of course.
Now, think of any song with them two, or really him and someone else, whose verse always kind of outshined.
Well, I mean, Snoop's a great writer for what he does.
Yeah, but and that's all said and done. Like he is a legend. Yeah. He's done a lot of fantastic stuff, and he's always going to be remembered. But as far as this album goes,
yeah, well, that's what I was getting. As far as this album goes, none of this was like groundbreaking. Like Snoop Dogg is capable of a higher caliber of rap than this, and. I feel like Snoop Dogg, being Snoop Dogg, should have been able to get some better beats than this. Not that they were terrible, but they weren't, you know. Like,
no, they were subpar comparatively. Yeah. But the thing that really like resonated with me is, you know, we say things like this album wasn't good for this artist because all of the other stuff they've made, you know, like you're expecting more, and that's for the disappointment. But even if you weren't expecting anything out of this, if you didn't know it was Snoop Dogg, I don't think this was a good album.
It wasn't. And actually, to fight against that, I kind of, as soon as I heard that first song and how different his rap style was, I thought, okay, well, you know, it's 2016, he's going to try something new. So I went into every song kind of like preparing myself for like, all right, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. So right. Like go with a clean slate. This isn't, you know, Doggy Style is over, you know, Chronic is even over. Like this is now something new. But I thought Snoop Dogg could make it work, you know? And it wasn't terrible, wasn't a bomb, but it just wasn't, it was nothing spectacular. It was just like another album out there for me.
It's nothing spectacular.
Like when people...
I think there were a couple good tracks, but...
Yeah, a couple good tracks.
But it's not a consistent
And as
record.
I just said in the Avalanches, you can't really you can't let these, you know, a couple bad tracks define a whole album, but there were a lot of bad tracks in this. Like... I think the bad really did outweigh the good, and the good was nothing spectacular to hold itself up on its own. I mean, there were things that I enjoyed listening to it at the moment, but not enough where I'm going to return to it, much like I will with Wildflower.
Can I phrase it this way? I have a very, very deep Snoop Dogg collection.
Shoot.
None of this will make that.
Okay. And I totally understand that. Not a single track did it for you enough.
So I love Snoop Dogg, and I wanted to like this so much more because I love Snoop Dogg. But I had to try to, you know, be as objective as I could, and it just wasn't great to me. I just listened to it and was like, that's it.
I mean, I like My Cars because he flips Jay Dilla's trucks. So, I mean, I like that track. You know, I like Feel About Snoop. You know, that's a takeoff of The Way I Feel About You. I like the last track, actually. The second from last was Sugar Free. What If? I surprisingly like that track a lot. So, I mean, there were songs on here that I did like, but I'm used and the song with Trick Trick, I like that one too. Affiliated. I mean, but I'm used to Snoop giving me like a concept album that I like all the way from beginning to end, and I feel like this album didn't do that. So yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings about it.
Do you think that if this wasn't Snoop's name on this album, you'd kind of have more of an appreciation for it? If
No,
it wasn't that
I
extra
don't.
letdown?
No, it was just
that.
not.
That's
No.
me too. No matter what, this isn't disappointing for a Snoop Dogg album. This is disappointing for an album.
Now
to me.
I liked him changing up his delivery style. I appreciated him trying to to change his cadence.
That's what I was
to change his
saying.
sound. I
Yeah.
appreciate all of that because he's giving you something new with that. He's showing you that he can rap in different styles. But the production, it wasn't that the production was bad. It's just it didn't.
It wasn't Snoop Dogg good.
It didn't have a nice
Wasn't Snoop
soulful,
Dogg good.
organic feel that like his other albums have. Like Bush, but this album made
You're
me.
totally right. That was a big problem for me. Is how it just didn't feel organic whatsoever.
No.
It didn't feel real, and it just felt like it felt heavily produced in the wrong direction. Like,
Well, see, and then lyrically, like I said, to me, it was a little bit too, more misogynistic than even for Snoop. I feel like you got a little too.
and rap and misogyny, like if
I didn't know that was
you can't-
possible.
You can't you can not like rap because of its misogyny, but like most rappers have been guilty at one point or another. Like I'm not. For like Snoop Dogg, I'm not
Yeah,
going to get
but
on him for being misogynistic because that's kind of his whole spiel, Like,
Well, yeah, but it gets.
I don't
old
like
and
it, but you have to look past it to do.
No, you don't.
And you're right.
'Cause it gets
I'm
old in
automatically going to sound like the
2016.
bad guy here for saying look past misogyny, but
it gets old in 2016.
But
it gets old.
to a point where that's his stuff. I want to review
gets
this like
old.
it's any other like
But
the
you
Snoop
don't.
Dogg
Yeah,
album.
but you don't get that feel so much off of his Bush record, or off of Ego Trip, or off of Documentary. You don't get that as much. Like I said, this. I mean, he if he wanted to be harder on this album, he was. I didn't necessarily care for it, though.
Was he though? I didn't.
I mean, some of it was a little hard. I mean, he off the first track, Legend and Super Crip. Super Crip, I still don't know how I feel about that song. I mean, that was an interesting song.
I still think he was harder, like in the next episode, and Nothing But a G Thing, and
Well, I mean, and that's classic early stuff. But I mean, he lyrically he got a little aggressive on this album, which is fine. He wants to assert to people who he is in case they forgot, and I get that. Like I said, there's parts of it I like, but as an overall, do I recommend the album? No, I don't.
Me neither.
I would recommend the album before this, Bush. That's a good album. It's very soulful. Like I said, it's got a lot more soul, organic feel to it. And Ego Trip and Documentary. Those are great records from Snoop. So, I mean, we love Snoop, but yeah, I think, My Cars, I like the way he flipped that. I like Affiliated with Trick Trick. Like I said, I like What If with Sugar Free. And then I got a little confused because at one point Snoop is getting kind of conscious and righteous on some tracks. And then he just gets all kind of reverted back to, screw everybody on the next track. I'm like,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who are you? I guess he's all those things, but yeah, in 2016, I want more. So I want more.
I feel like what that kind of showed were that shift from consciousness to that aggressive kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it kind of showed how shallow all of it was in its entirety because it felt like the album didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
and that was a problem I had.
Yeah.
But
But
I guess
love
we will
Snoop.
talk about that.
Yeah.
We got the break coming up.
Yes.
After that, we'll do a wrap up and we'll keep going into why we didn't like Snoop Dogg and try to convince Mariano that Wildflower was a great album.
We're
So
not going to, no,
good
stop
luck.
it.
I'll do my best.
Stop
All right.
it.
We'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be, visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Mariano, you just pointed
It
in
was
a
a
random
contest 'cause
direction.
I was about to come in too.
I didn't know. Yeah, Mariano held up a finger like he was going to point one of us to come back in.
It was just in general, whoever.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome back. I guess we can also, be welcoming to this.
Welcome back, Jordan.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Mariano.
We just did
Keith.
Snoop Dogg's terrible new album, Wildflowers. Controversially fantastic album.
I don't know about terrible, but just not great.
No. Let's say allegedly. Let's say personal opinionly.
We're not going to call it, because it's Snoop.
No.
I don't want to call it terrible. Like
You're
I
right.
said.
You're right. But
You know,
I didn't like it. I thought it was terrible. But that's my opinion.
which is fine.
It didn't stand out, but I still like Snoop
But
Dogg.
but we love you, Snoop. And like I said, I just I'm used to you giving me a whole concept album that's more soulful. Or
Yeah, no, you're right. That did feel super harsh. Yeah,
Yeah, man. So,
it did.
Snoop,
Oh,
I don't want
God.
him to get mad at me.
I just, considering it's Snoop Dogg, I hold him to. I expect just so much more that I didn't get from this album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I said, I got bits and pieces of it, and not enough. But I definitely want to recommend people. Of course, Doggy Style is a classic.
Oh,
of course,
duh.
so is The
Yeah.
Dogfather, The Last Meal. But the album before this, Bush, great record. Documentary, excellent album. You should hear the track that Kanye did called Eyes Closed. Oh, killer. The whole album is dope. What's the documentary? What else? Of course, Rhythm and Gangster. That's a great album. An Ego Trip with that's a great whole album too.
So yeah, and I feel like half of our review of Snoop Dogg's new album is justifying why it wasn't a great album by showing up other things in his discography. I feel like a lot of it's
that are
showing.
great from him.
Well, hold on, guys, listen to this instead. But I think that there's no problem with that because Snoop Dogg does have a great discography, and I hope that
he's put the work in.
are like us saying negative things about this album
and consistently too is the thing.
Yeah, he has. He's been incredibly consistent, and that's very hard for a musician.
So I do like his vocal style changings on this record, and I do like the songs that I loved, but the songs I didn't like, I hated. So,
yeah.
there it is.
I appreciated the attempt, not even attempt. He did a good job changing up his tempo and new rap styles. Those were good. They were okay. It just considering the level that I would expect from a Snoop Dogg album, it did not live up at all. Some of the songs were good. Some of the lines were actually really good, but not enough.
I can respect that. Like I said, I think, but to me, this album it wasn't good it wasn't good for a Snoop Dogg. I just felt like it wasn't something. No matter who made it, if it was an unknown artist, it wouldn't have been for me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been something I would have enjoyed.
Either way, it wouldn't have been for me. But the fact that it's Snoop Dogg,
it further let you down.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg. I don't know how to give it the emphasis it deserves, but he's a West Coast legend. You know?
Yep. He's West Coast,
and this just wasn't a legendary album.
Allegedly, the best coast.
there it is.
But okay, so I guess we talked Snoop Dogg into the ground with this one. Yeah.
Okay, but gentlemen, the verdict. Scale of 1 to 10. Where are we with the album?
With Snoop Dogg's album?
Yes.
I hate these scales because they're always relative to what the last album we were reviewing in the episode was or this week. But this one, I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 5.
4, 5, and you are a 6, or are you a 3?
I'm going to give it a 6.
All right, 4, 5, 6. That's what I wanted. Yeah. All right.
I'm going to give it a 6.
But
so, and to tell you the relevance of who Snoop Dogg is too, people understand in 1993, his rap album was the most anticipated record on everyone's, wish list. So he was on the cover of either Time magazine or Newsweek. I'm trying to find that cover and I can't, but he was on the cover of a mainstream news magazine back then. And
in 1993.
Yes.
You see what I'm
saying? The first
saying?
rapper to ever be on the cover. His album wasn't even out yet.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, Snoop Dogg goes from that and everything he did with Death Row and then after with After.
So history. He made history.
Exactly.
So,
he is, and I think he's always going to be a legend. I think he's always going to be an incredibly iconic. I think that's something that's beautiful about Snoop Dogg. I think a lot more people are going to know about him than his music, which is, they'll know that he's a musician, but he's one of those people where he goes way beyond the borders of his like albums and his career.
And he became the king of the West Coast in hip hop. He really did.
He did.
Listen to his lyrics.
But I have little family members that know who Snoop Dogg
Isn't
is,
that
like
crazy?
little cousins, and they've never heard a song of his, but because he's so iconic and people talk about him, it's a given. Oh, the Snoop Dogg, the guy that smokes weed.
You see, and that's what I was saying though, was that the braids, the whole just kind of even just the way he moves, like in his movies. There is no other Snoop Dogg.
No. No. And he is a legend. So the track one, he calls himself a legend. He was right.
He was totally right.
Yeah,
I just wish he said it better than how he did on track one, because I wasn't a fan of that one either. So it's 4, 5, and 6. We don't recommend the record, but we recommend the record before this and other works from Snoop. And we also recommend counting. So this episode was brought to you by the number 7. And
I like that. Yeah, definitely. So,
and I guess we can get on to Wildflower.
Avalanches. Yes.
Avalanches was.
It's a fun record. I like it.
There was a lot of fun.
It's an acquired taste.
We've been listening to it between our commercial breaks. I just showed our sound guy, Shay. I mean,
oh, did you really?
I just showed him there. I said, you got to check out Frankie Sinatra, the extended mix. And he liked what he heard. I mean, it's something that I'm going to return to beyond this, this review. And what I'm so thankful for, we're the luckiest people in the world to have this kind of job, where part of my job is discovering something that is going to last
so
with me.
I'll pick it up as well. So. But it's all good. So they were 2-1 on that one. Mariano did not like it.
Do you feel like you could come around? Do you feel like there were? Do you think that there were parts that you did like about it?
Stop trying to.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not.
Hold on. I'm going to try to get a discussion out here.
I don't think I'll ever listen to an album that I'll hate every single part. But the thing is, it's collective. It's an album, and if it's not, it's like Snoop Dogg's was like mostly boring, some really bad, some pretty good.
Yeah.
But the overall there is pretty bad. Mm-hmm. This album to me was like mostly unbearable, some of it bearable. That's not good. That's, I don't even want to give it another. Like, I didn't even want to listen to it again. It was really.
The look on your face when you spoke about the record was priceless.
I'm telling you,
it was awesome. If they could see you in the studio, I was cracking up, bro.
Just imagine,
you look like sick, like you look hungover.
You looked the way I felt about
your eyes got baggier mid sentence.
He did kind of get sleepy looking, didn't he? He did. Actually.
He did. It was this exhausted hungover look.
Respect, man.
But that album did not incite narcolepsy. It incited I almost raged out on the train up here. It was so boring. It was as hard for me to sit through as The Equals, a really movie.
I know, like I said, that's how I feel about that Blink-182 album, California, man. That was painful for me.
If I'm your ride back to your train home, we're going to be listening to that.
Stop it. Stop trying to strong arm him.
That's okay. No, he can do what he wants because I have earphones.
There you go. Okay. So
I don't suscept.
Right on. So
or I'll catch an Uber.
It's a no headphone. It's a no headphone.
So
kind of
we're
car,
divided.
Okay.
So in this podcast,
and it's a no Mariano kind of car. I'll catch an Uber.
Yeah, the three of us are divided in this podcast. So the island is and the island scenario. Where are we?
Avalanches by far.
Snoop Dogg.
This is good though because we are. Okay. So Avalanches for you, Snoop Dogg for you.
I mean, Avalanches for that's a song that I would want to listen to on an island, even if I wasn't stranded.
I hate to say it, but wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. Avalanches for me.
It's pretty believable given the.
Yeah, it's believable. But I couldn't. Snoop Dogg's was still better to me, and
you didn't care for it, so that tells you really don't.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like Snoop Dogg's, I just didn't.
Respect, man.
Snoop Dogg's, I didn't care for. On the verge of disliking. Avalanches, I disliked.
Well,
okay. I've got a cool little exercise we can do right now.
What's that?
Since this one was kind of felt like a negative, very negative podcast, not for the fact that there was Snoop Dogg. I guess I was disappointed with it.
Then people might think it's a negative podcast.
Well, it was a negatively reviewed podcast.
But sometimes you don't need to say certain things, dude.
It's no secret. We had nothing good to say about it.
Right, but like I said, the power of suggestion is real.
I'm suggesting people don't listen to this album, but let's play this game. Let's come up with some good things to say about the Snoop Dogg, and let's come up with good things to say.
No.
I mean, can you guys think of something good?
No.
There's absolutely nothing because a couple of the songs did do it for me.
I think it's done. I think it's over. It's over.
Yeah?
Yeah. So Mariano, Jordan, do you have any closing comments for this podcast? Because we're out of time now.
Liked the Wildflower thing. I'm going to go back to it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were able to find that out.
Yeah, I think it's a good record. I like it.
I like the Snoop one better, but I think I'm going to leave both of these alone. The Snoop one, it wasn't terrible. I can't say it enough. It wasn't terrible. Uh-huh. It's just Snoop Dogg has done so much better that I'd rather listen to that.
There it is. Nothing more to say.
It's like I'd rather watch Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk than today when
I understand.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad. I get it. Okay, so what else is there to say at this point? Besides where you can find it.
I was going to say, let me tell you what.
So tell me, bro.
Is the I don't know. You guys are making me second guess the Avalanches. I'll give it another listen.
Okay, yeah.
Well, like
in
I
the
said,
car, yeah.
I'm okay with it. So.
We may or may not have an updated review on that later on.
I've enjoyed your review.
I seriously doubt
it.
Well, let me say, I seriously doubt it, but I do want to be thorough. I'll give it another listen, but I'm like 98% sure it's going to be the exact same thing.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed your review.
That's a lot of percent, yeah.
You know, because you spice things up, so it's all good, man.
Oh, trust me, I'm not trying to backtrack. If I don't like it, I will come back and say I don't.
Oh, I understand.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yes.
We'll rant some other time, but be sure to check us out, gsmcpodcast.com. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and don't forget to like us and retweet us, help us out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm Mariano.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Keith.
Who?
Captain Keith. Yes.
Do you want to close this out, Captain Keith?
Sure. Thanks again for listening. We appreciate all of you. It means a lot.
Is it Captain Keith because of a space thing?
It's just Captain Keith, man. Just accept it, bro.
Oh, is it like because of the space thing at the end?
Well, and once again, no, it just is, man. It just
okay. I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to close it out, man. So,
all right.
So thanks again for listening. Like I said, we do appreciate all of you, and you can catch us. You can like us on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. There's an Instagram account. There is Google Play, SoundCloud, and, of course, there is GSMCpodcast.com. Did I say Twitter? Well, there's Twitter.
Yeah.
So thanks again, and we'll see you somewhere out in space.